Hey, my super beautiful, lovely, gorgeous souls. Lizzie the Lightworker here. Today's video is going to be for Pisces, twin flame, separation. Pisces is your twin flame and air sign. A Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius. So if you'd like to hear the messages here for separation for twin flames with Pisces in one of these signs, I will leave timestamps. Please stick around for the entirety of the messages. And also, why not go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos like this on a regular basis. I'd love to have you. So let's jump right into this. I thank you for watching. We'll start with Pisces and Aquarius in a twin flame separation. So we'll talk about some of the energies maybe leading up to separation, okay? And we'll talk about the energies maybe to adopt or release, some energy from the divine masculine perspective, shadows or things that need to be healed. Same with the divine feminine. We'll pull in some sort of your purpose or your journey together, the reason for that, or a main lesson maybe of the theme of your connection. And let's get into it. So now, keep in mind the energies can read in reverse. You could feel more like the Pisces or the Aquarius or the masculine or the feminine. So don't worry, just take them as they resonate. That's all that's important. Okay. So leading up to separation, let's see. So we got a strong Aquarius energy. I feel like Aquarius may have dominated the relationship. More so the divine masculine, I feel like sort of, I don't want to say ruled the relationship, but maybe carried majority of the energy that sort of ruled the relationship. I don't know how else to say it. I feel like they were a little bit more on the old-fashioned side. I don't know if this is an older-younger connection, like a younger female with an older male or vice versa. I feel like this was about sort of like learning responsibilities in a relationship, if that makes any sense. Like not just like what you can do to please somebody or what you can do to allure somebody, more like what you can do to hold long-term, like more of a long-term connection, because that's what I'm feeling here. Now, I don't know if these two knew each other before or knew each other for a long time. I just get this feeling like there's this long-standing connection between these two people. And certainly I feel like it was a very attractive, like these two attracted to one another. They found each other attractive, or they had attractive qualities that the other was very interested in. Okay. But I think the rule or lesson here was more so learning about responsibilities in a relationship, in a connection, and more about learning responsibilities, like how to build the relationship together for it to be a little bit more traditional. Because I feel like one of you wanted that more. One of you wanted tradition more than the other. So let's get the divine masculine perspective, because I'm getting a lot of Aquarius energy. It doesn't have to be this way. It can. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it reveals itself. But like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be one or the other. So go with what feels right from the reading. Divine masculine in this connection. Childhood wounds. So they may be working on their childhood wounds, or it could be that their childhood wounds were mirrored by the divine feminine and now they realize these childhood wounds. I don't know if there was an issue with them not having a father figure around, or somebody who was for structure, or they could have had a parent that was very controlling, or a single parent home where one parent had to be both, like the mother and the father, or just they ended up with their dad and their dad was super controlling. There's some things here about parenthood, their parents, and a level of that is about wounds for them. Like they're stuck on a level where like I feel like it just wasn't favorable for them growing up, or they weren't maybe given the freedom that they need. So let's get another card. Yeah, power hungry. So I feel like this person in their childhood wounds was very restricted, a very restricted energy here. So now they are a little bit power hungry, meaning they want it for themselves. They want to have power over their freedom. Okay. So this could have been what went on here, like with the divine masculine and the divine feminine. The divine masculine could be very hungry for status and very hungry for freedom and needing to be sort of independent and responsible for themselves, and maybe going out and learning that a bit. I feel like that could have caused the separation a little bit here. Yeah, I mean, if you grow up feeling powerless over your own life, and you have a very controlling parent or somebody who is just always trying to control what you do, and you sort of allowed that to control your happiness, Divine Masculine, your twin may have reflected this to you, and now, you know, you're sort of in an imbalance and desperately needing to heal those wounds of possibly feeling like you have never had control. So maybe now you want control more than ever. Okay. And that could have been what ruined this. Not ruined it, but it could have been what, you know, caused the separation. So Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine is fearful here. Okay. Fearful and always burning. Wow. So she may have left this, or part of the separation could have been because of her own fears. It could be that, you know, she may have recognized some things in her Divine Masculine that maybe reminded her of her father, possibly, good or bad. It could be that she may also have been fearful of control, and someone with that type of a power-hungry energy, it could have scared her. She may not feel control in her own life, and she certainly does not feel control now in separation, and it's scaring her. To not feel like she has that control there. I feel like there's some things from her past that need to die off, possibly some other relationships, and that could be part of it. She could be holding a candle or a torch for someone, and holding a torch for her twin, okay? Because there could be unhealed relationships from the past, or sort of some pattern type things. So her memories of her twin are always burning. She's literally holding fire for her twin that's always there. You know, it's just like this waiting energy. Like she's like, I'll be here when and if you come back, I'll be here. Okay. So she's got those feelings for her twin that are not dying. I feel like he knows this, and I feel like he likes it in a way because he's getting a little bit of power out of it. So, let's talk about sort of some advice here that we can pull in for both of them on their journeys in separation, whatever they're doing. So for the Divine Feminine, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. So when this comes up, we all have spiritual gifts. A lot of the time I sense empath with this card, okay? So there could be energy at work on our Divine Feminine that's helping her heal. It could be that she's having an awakening and being called to do more type of healing herself. It could be something that's in her blood. Empaths often come from other empaths. It's like a passed down gift. So I feel like this may have always been with her, and she is rather empathic, and she's meant to sort of explore that. And let's get one for the Divine Masculine. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Wow. Okay, so in separation, our Divine Masculine has to learn about boundaries. It could be that, you know, Aquarius are very freedom loving and rebellious, a little hard to tie down because sometimes they want to go out and venture things that they feel they need to make themselves complete. So if our Divine Masculine is struggling a bit with power and control, it could be that in a lot of areas of his life, he doesn't feel he has that control. So he may need to get that together a bit. Okay, it could be at his job. It could be his home life. It could be with friends. It could be with other relationships that he's had in the past. It could be parents. It could be, you know, those energies, like I said. So it could also be that he is a very helpful person and he doesn't establish boundaries. And in that way, he has power taken from him each time he doesn't make a good boundary in place, if that makes any sense. It could also be that he has firm boundaries and he doesn't want to really let anybody in. So he's scared if he lets someone in, he's going to lose his power. Okay, if that makes any sense. So he's got some boundaries issues. Now, I said we were going to talk about sort of like a main theme that may be carrying over, you know, in your contract. Like we all have a main theme with our twin of something that needs to be healed or energy that we need to let in or sort of the purpose of the connection. And there's many. So this is just one. Let's say, what is your relationship sort of carrying? Pisces, Aquarius, a main theme, twin flame connection and separation. Acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change. I love that. I love that because I feel like if our divine feminine is empath and she might be afraid to, go into her gifts or, follow her path. This is about acceptance. We are who we are. Our soul is what our soul is. And I feel like acceptance of the fact that, yes, her twin did have to go, obviously. If he's on his own doing some things, he's still struggling with some things, okay? The power hungry, that's an energy of ego as well. So that is something that I feel like has to slowly break away for him. Just the fact that he connected with his twin, I feel like he has accepted this in some way. I feel like he just doesn't know how to change it or heal it. So he may be working at that, okay? But acceptance is the main theme. Wow, I really like this. So we have to accept who we are. We have to accept our gifts. We have to, sort of go with what's true about ourselves. Also, we cannot change what happened between our twin and ourselves. We cannot change the fact that we need separation. So it's all about acceptance of it. So let's get something in, sort of anything to stop doing. Maybe something that we're obsessing over, something that's blocking us, or something that, we need to sort of drop, a way that we're acting or being. Stop trying to fix everyone. We'll have that one will be for the divine feminine. And for the divine masculine, we've got stop being so giving. So that could have been, like I said, an issue with their energy of maybe giving too much and losing control and losing power each time they do that. So better boundaries again. And our divine feminine. I mean, empaths want to fix people. So I'm not saying you are definitely one. I feel like you might be from this energy coming in, divine feminine, okay? I feel like we want to fix everyone, but if we don't know how to help and fix ourselves, we can't. Like, we have to heal ourselves first before we can heal others, if that makes any sense. So I feel like that's an energy too that has to do with the acceptance, okay? So maybe accepting this gift that you have. And accepting the fact that, you both need to go sort of off on your own in separation and work on these things for the betterment. I hope this was helpful. Let's get on to Libra and Pisces. So Libra and Pisces, in your connection, we're going to talk about sort of energies leading up to separation. Maybe some things that were going on, some things that need to be taken care of that maybe interrupted the connection, maybe some energies coming into the connection. Wow, we're getting the Magician. That's like top, wow, and Judgment. Okay. So what I'm feeling here is that the Magician energy is very strong for love. It's all about connection, manifesting, and bringing in your talents like into a relationship. It's about healing. It's about fixing. It's about having what you need to sort of manifest or create the perfect connection or the perfect relationship. Now, this separated, one of you may not have been ready to accept this surge energy that comes through with twin flame union. It's like a magnetic surge. One of you wasn't ready for it. Okay. I also feel like one of you had just ended a relationship. I'm not sure if it was this relationship, like this union of twin flame, or if it was another relationship. Okay. One of you I feel like had just ended a relationship. I also feel like one of you gets messages and hear like sort of maybe even like a clear audience, like where you hear clear messages, maybe from spirit, something with signs and symbols, something with that about change. Okay. This separation is meant for both of you to come into energies of change, evolving. I feel like for the Magician energy, that strong, like driven sort of manifesting type energy. And I feel like to let old shit die, like the past to die. Okay. I feel like this was very like I don't know. It feels to me like it was like a divine, like it is divine, but I feel like very divine. Like I feel like you both almost, you knew, like you were like, wow, both of you knew something was so different about this connection. So let's get in the divine masculine. And this will be sort of maybe some wounds that the divine masculine is carrying, sort of darker, sort of shadowy things that need to be healed, or the divine masculine might need to be woken up to, or an energy that, he may be carrying. Let's see here. We're getting hiding things. Oh boy. Hiding things. Let's get another card. And distractions. This comes out a lot when the divine masculine is in a little bit of a more immature energy. So they're hiding things. I mean, sometimes I say, guys, this is like the dreaded what you think. Oh, they were hiding things, another person, or they're hiding a secret life from me, or they were cheating. It can be that. It can also be very, very strong energy for they don't want to reveal them true selves because they feel like they're not good enough. They feel like they're not worthy enough. They have some issues with self-esteem, or they have some issues with their appearance, or their the way they feel attractive. Okay, so they may hide things about themselves. They might have like a daughter or a son on the side with another person, and they're not all the way divorced yet. Or they might have like a secret life where they have a girlfriend. Yes, that can be. But I feel like sometimes this is about, I don't want you to know, that I have all these wounds from childhood. I don't want you to know I had a shitty upbringing in life, or maybe I have a criminal past or history. I don't want you to know that. Or they're embarrassed of someone in their family, or they're embarrassed of something they've done in the past. They don't want it to come out. Okay. So it could be that too. But either way, it's sort of a character thing, and something that they need to learn to not do that. And then the distractions are just anything to not focus on themselves. I mean, you see here the guys who are playing the video game. It doesn't even have to be that. It could be anything to not look at their self or what they need to do. Okay, so they may not be ready for the evolution that they need to, come into. But with that Judgment card, I feel like it's completely necessary. And one of you obviously is more involved than the other. The Divine Feminine, I'm feeling, is more involved in this connection. Divine Feminine is ruminating. Okay, so Divine Feminine's like, maybe I should have done this differently. Maybe I should have said this to him. Maybe I should have been more giving to him. Maybe I shouldn't have let him in so quickly. Maybe I should have tried to talk to him about this. Or maybe I should have. It's like this ruminating, okay? And ruminating is like a dead end energy, okay? Because we will never get the answers sometimes that we need to get. So almost like either let them go or sort of answer yourself. I feel like deep down, it's just something that we do when we have anxiety, or we have wounds opened up about abandonment, or wounds opened up about being rejected. So it's something that we go into where we kind of torture ourselves with the what ifs. That's what she's doing. And she needs to focus on herself 100%. I feel like Divine Feminine, you need to really take care of yourself here. Learn how to take care of yourself. Learn how to put you first, because I feel like you don't ever do this. Don't ever put yourself first. And it's not for the betterment for the Divine Masculine. It's for you. I feel like you need to really listen to yourself, listen to your body, listen to what your body needs, sort of getting in a healthy way. I feel like spas, gyms, getting your nails done, treating yourself to a nice meal somewhere, taking yourself out, sort of like learning to like put yourself first and love yourself 100% and give yourself the nurture and love that you need. Okay. So I like to go with some advice, okay, for each of these two energies, to sort of help them on their way, okay, because that's what separation is about. Divine Feminine, to help you on your way. You are already doing it. Stop overthinking it. Keep facing your true north. So something is pulling you to what needs healing the most. I feel like deep down, you know what this is. Look, you're being told to do it because it's already there that it has to be done. It's already like, I feel like it's already revealed itself to you what needs healing. And, whatever you're doing, don't overthink too much about the Divine Masculine and the problems and the what ifs, because I feel like, Spirit wants you to pull away from this energy really, really quickly because it's draining you. And then for the Divine Masculine, we're getting protection, call back your power, cut cords, soul retrieval. So he may have some karmic issues he needs to go deal with. He may have been dealing with them before you came in, Divine Feminine. Divine Masculine has some issues to deal with. They have to possibly play out karma with other people, other relationships. I also feel like in their life, they have felt powerless at times, or they felt like they couldn't change something, or they couldn't do something. And all they do is distract themselves when those energies come in. So they're having to learn about cutting cords to those energies. Like, I'll just go play a video game, or I'll just go play on the computer, or I'll just go do this. It's more like to face, what they need to face. Okay. So let's get sort of a message about your souls, the two of you souls coming together in twin flame union, one soul split into two energies. What is a lesson or a main theme? Okay. There can be many of these, but let's just go with one. What is a main theme of this connection that you need to, explore, deal with, adopt, like some type of a main lesson or theme that you both need to learn about? We're getting guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. So there could be things from the past. It could be over this connection. One of you could feel more guilty than the other. So you're going to have to learn about the guilt part of it. It could be guilt from the past, things that you're guilty that you feel of, or things that you didn't do, or things that, mistakes or chances that you didn't take, and you now feel guilty. Because guilt is a heavy energy and it holds you down. It stops you from taking chances and moving forward. So let's also get into some energies, something that, you might need to stop doing. Or something that might be blocking you from, going about your journey, or continuance on your journey, let's just say. It might be blocking you from, reconnecting with your twin. Okay, Divine Feminine, stop playing the victim. Divine Masculine, stop bottling things up. Okay, so in these energies, these are a little harsher, I do realize, but it's like tough love, okay? So victim could just be that, it is sometimes we are stuck in this mentality because we've had shitty things happen to us and we've often felt powerless when they're happening. So Divine Feminine, this comes up a lot for the Divine Feminines because I feel like we're conditioned to be a certain way and sort of take up the slack a lot. And sometimes, we allow people to hurt us and we don't get validated for it. So we get into this mentality where it's like, oh, it's always bad, or it's always negative, or why me? That's what this really means by that. So we're to come out of this why me, and more so, instead of play the victim or feeling like the victim, become the warrior that is in us. We are warrior women, and all we need to do is release it. And Divine Masculine needs to stop bottling things up, which does kind of correspond here with some of the cards. They distract themselves when they're upset, and they hide things when they're upset. So good advice for that. I hope this was helpful, guys. Libra and Pisces, thank you so much for watching. We're gonna get on to now Gemini and Pisces. Gemini and Pisces. Let's get some energy out for, leading up to separation. Some energy that, maybe you both were carrying, attitudes, some feelings. Okay. Wow. Okay. So I feel like one of you was more serious than the other. I feel like one of you is like a little more like fantasy and happy and let's live in the moment. And the other one is like, no, we have to do it this way. And this is how it works. And I like structure, order, and fairness and balance. And I use my head to think, not my dreamy fantasy world brain to think, if that makes any sense. I feel like one of you two could have been a little bit overindulgent or prone to overindulging. I feel like the other was a little bit more like, hey, I'm living my life this way, and this is how I think it's right to live, and I don't really do that. So different energies here. I feel like almost like an opposites attract, and I also feel like one is good for the other. Okay, like there's a lot of I want to say disharmonies, but a lot of like differences, okay? But it's like an opposites attract, and it's like what one lacks, the other brings. So this is actually a really good, solid, like pairing, okay? Let's get some from the Divine Masculine. Feeling sort of shadows, maybe some things that need work, some wounds maybe that need to be healed. Divine Masculine in this connection and separation. Divine Masculine is under illusionary thinking. They might just be a fantasy thinker. They might be somebody that likes to dream, but not go after their dreams. They might create these big, big things in their head, like things they want to do, things they want to go after, ideas that they have, and then they may not follow through with them. Sometimes they're more comfortable with looking at them in their mind than they are with if they do it and fail, okay? So there could be some failure, fear of failure here with the Divine Masculine. and irresponsible. Yeah, they might be in a little bit more of an immature energy. They might be not ready for commitment. They might have built this connection up with their twin in a humongous way, like the most romantic movie you'd ever see, or romantic book you've ever read. But they lack the responsibility to put energy into it and maintain it and help it grow and nourish. The second it gets too big, they might want to run away and go create another illusion to escape. So there's a little bit of escapism here. It could be something from childhood, that something they learned to do, or it could be just something that, you know, it's a coping mechanism for them when they feel like they're too irresponsible to give to somebody. They might disappear on you. They might flake out on you, Divine Feminine. So yeah, let's get some for the Divine Feminine now. Divine Feminine. Wounds, maybe, some more shadowy things that need to come out or be dealt with, or, energies that you guys might be carrying reflect to each other too, don't forget. All right. So she's getting a yes answer. We're going to put that aside. So we've got intuition and we've got maturity. So she's carrying the maturity here, the Divine Feminine. I feel like she's, got to bring this in to teach him. You see how I said that these two energies, unbelievably, the cards answer us, are coming out to be opposite, sort of like opposites. Like one's irresponsible, one's responsible. One's a solid thinker, the other one's a dreamer. Okay. So I feel like that's why they're here for each other. They're supposed to mirror these things to each other. It could be that the Divine Feminine is too responsible and too set in her ways and too pinned down to what her beliefs are, and that the Divine Masculine is supposed to teach her to be a little more happy and frivolous and go with the flow and live in the moment, and vice versa for the Divine Masculine. She may be bringing in maturity, teaching him how to take responsibility for himself and things in his life. So this could be what interrupted the connection. So Divine Feminine, if you have any question in your mind about something, whatever it is, if you came into this reading wondering, you're getting a yes answer. Be patient. All right, so let's get some advice for these two. Some advice for the two of these energies going onward in their destinies. Okay, Divine Feminine, what lights you up? So Divine Feminine, I feel like you have a very nurturing soul. You have a very healing, empathic soul. You may be a natural healer. You may be bringing this into your Divine Masculine in the way of maturity, responsibility, showing him that he can trust another person and build with another person, and reality type thinking, where maybe a lot of the times when he's in illusionary thinking, he might be messing up his progress for something. So let's get from the Divine Masculine. Rite of passage, crossing the threshold. So he's definitely in line with you to make progress in his life. You may have met and touched and go for a reason, because you may have given the Divine Masculine just enough Divine Feminine that now he's ready to start this journey. And he's getting into more of a routine about it, like not flaking out on it, not fantasy thinking about it. I feel like you woke him up a bit to realize that, he can't stay this way forever. Okay, so he's definitely thinking about that. Can't stay this way forever. You have done that, Divine Feminine. Now, a sort of an overall card for your connection together. A lesson you might need to learn, energy that you might need to come into, sort of like one of your main themes of your connection. Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. So the imaginary aspect of this twin flame union is very strong. I think it's for both of you to, sort of meet halfway, like I said, and bring what the other lacks. I do feel like that. So whoever is the more imaginary person and the other person is the more rational person, you're supposed to bring like a 50-50 energy to each other about that, if that makes any sense. And to wrap this up, let's get something to sort of stop doing. These are a little bit harsher, but it's like tough love. Because these are meant to show what's blocked, like between the two of you, that needs to be cleared so you can, possibly reunite. Divine Feminine. Stop letting other people pull on your heartstrings. Wow. So to be a little bit more guarded, I guess, excuse me, I would say be a little bit more guarded. I would say sort of not so giving, learning to protect your energy, not letting people give you, sort of like these poor me stories where you always feel bad and you sort of waste your energy. And then divine masculine needs to stop blocking your blessings. So divine masculine may be fearful, like I said, to go out and chase his dreams or do what he needs to do. By having that energy, he's sort of blocking his blessings. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you guys on the next reading. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much.